And we're back. And we're back. We're back. All right, that sounded like my old radio days. Okay, we don't need to go back there to my old radio morning show days. We've moved on to podcast. Welcome in. It's TSFS. I'm your host, Sarah Fraser. I'm so glad you're here. Many of you have discovered this podcast because of Sister Wives, and season 20, episode 1 aired last night. Most people don't even know this show is back. It's back. Because literally it ended in June. Yeah, no, it ended. It was a record long season 19, because sadly of the passing of Garrison, which, by the way, last night, they're keeping his name, his memory well alive, which I love. I love that Janelle is so willing to talk about him when it was just so tragic, the whole thing. But we got an epic long season with Sister Wives, season 19. And I think we're in for another one with season 20. So it started back up last night. A lot of fans don't even know that the show is back. A little bit, the timing is interesting, although I think it's going to piggyback off one another. Special Forces with Kody Brown, season 4 is also airing, which just aired on Thursday night, and will air, another episode this Thursday. So I recap Sister Wives for you all season long. So buckle up. You and I will probably be together until June. If you are addicted to the show like I am, you oddly can't cut the cord. You never know if it's going to be good or not, and then it surprises you out of nowhere. Well, come on in. Welcome to the Sarah Fraser Show. I am here for you in your recovery because I too am a Sister Wives addict. I mean, these people are so famous. They're so crazy. And is anything even going to happen in season 20? Really, we have to ask ourselves that. Okay, so before I break down last night's episode, I do want to tease a couple of things. At the end of this episode, there is so much pop culture news happening out there, so I want to cover 3 things. Number 1, what my thoughts were of Kody being on Special Forces on Fox on Thursday night. A new episode, of course, airing this Thursday night. Number 2, the yogurt shop murders. I don't know if anybody else is fascinated by it's fascinated is the wrong word when it comes to murders. But anyhow, early 90s, 4 girls were working in a yogurt shop in Texas, and they were murdered. They were murdered at the end of their shift. Well, we now have new DNA evidence that has solved the case. So we're going to talk about that. And then lastly, if you're a TLC addict like I am, a TLC family, a former reality show family, killed 3 family members killed in a car crash. I'll have an update for you on this tragic passing. It was wild. So we'll talk about those. Stick around to the end. Last night's episode, season 20, it was the premiere, and the exact title: Why I Want to Be a Monogamist. That should give you a hint right there. Last night we talked a lot about, will Kody and Robyn stay in monogamy? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to lose my ish. Okay. If these two don't take another effing wife after all the back and forth they're leading us on, after Kody, AKA, as they like to call him, Grody on the interwebs, they have gone back and forth. They don't let this whole thing die, that they still kind of want to be polygamous. Well, your asses better audition a hot smoking wife, okay? Because that's all they talk about. And they keep teasing us with this, no, we're gonna live monogamy. We can't share each other. And she is the one completely leading the charge. Oh, I never would have married Kody if it wasn't for plural marriage. She dances this line. And again, I actually don't hate Robyn as much as people normally dislike her. Like the Rob dog, I know everyone blames for the complete downfall of this family, but I think ultimately it fell on all of them. And polygamy is nearly impossible anyway. There's a reason most people can't stay with one spouse. Why in the frig are they with 4? And that's hence why they got a TV show. Okay. So I actually don't dislike Robyn as much as people think, but this dance better either end and we move on to something else that's going on in their world, whether it's finances, dolls. I don't get wherever the hell Dayton is. Is Dayton MIA? I don't know. Okay. But it was a lot of teasing us last night with the return of plural marriage. Okay, so that's sort of the last 10 minutes of last night's episode, but this hour-long jam-packed, let's get into it. I told you, I gave you a hint at the beginning. I'm concerned that this season is going to be boring. Okay, to say the least. I really am. Because last season, it wasn't that Garrison, we were like, we didn't know if TLC was going to give us a multi-part series on Garrison, and they did. But that kind of kept the season going. We had heard rumblings. Christine and Janelle had done interviews. We knew a special was coming. Meri had done TikToks. So there was, I think, a level of how is this going to be addressed? Is it going to be done tastefully? And people were, wanting to know more of what happened with his suicide, right? They delivered. It was so well done, tastefully well done, incredibly emotional. Every family member, I think, knocked it out of the park, handled it as well as they could have. Okay. So what are we going to have this season? If Kody and Robyn are really not going to produce some plural chicks that they might hook up with, we're effed. Like we have nothing here, okay? We have a few subtle hints that maybe things with Christine and David aren't like as great as they were, okay? I feel like we're getting some of that sprinkled in. Do I think these two are near divorce? I don't. I think they're a great match. I think he's lovely. But she even, she just did my podcast. You can go and listen to that. Christine did. She hints in last night's episode, and she hinted on my interview that monogamy is extremely hard for her. Because with plural marriage, like she only saw Kody, once a week. And then once he like fell in love with Robyn, we down to once a month. So she basically like lived as this single chick, but pooled her money for years and like helped out with her sister wives. Okay. So girlfriend hasn't lived with one man. And then we find out last night that David has a lot of similarities with Kody. Ooh, oh no. Whew. I gotta take a sip of water because I can't drink coffee. When Janelle started in on that, the things that were similar of David and Kody, they both competitive. They both got egos. They both like to be, they're big personalities. I thought, oh no, Christine, did we mess up here, sister? Did we go too hard too soon, girl? We've all done that with a man. So maybe we're getting some subtlety that there will be some rocky waters ahead. But so far last night, we were back to boring. We open with Coyote Pass. Everybody knows at this point that's an uber fan of this show. It already sold for $1.5 million. Kody and Robyn took half of that, so $750. The other $750 was split between Janelle and Meri. There's all you need to know. Who the new buyer is, I don't know. Let's go look up the deed. The deed, the title, what do you get when you get the deed, right? I should know this. I just bought a house. So there's still, Kody and Robyn, when we see them, when we pick things up last night, are in their old house. Kody is actually kind of like leading the charge of getting Saul and Ari off to school. And we kind of see him reflecting on his life that, a decade plus ago, it was mayhem. 18 kids trying to get out of the house in the morning. He was off working. I think he still sells like gun accessories, but I guess, he doesn't have to be up and out the door early anymore. The guns sell themselves. So, he can sell a clip anytime. So he's like getting them up in the morning. They're in the old McMansion, right? Which we also know they've sold and they've upgraded to like this $2 million mega mansion, which I want to see. Like I want to see the move and the whole tour. But he's getting them off to school and we're kind of checking in with all the women. And he talks about, the most he speaks to the Janelle. He speaks to her the most. He and Christine don't speak except for they text about Truly's schedule. Interesting. And he barely speaks to Meri. Then we talk to Christine. Christine loves being married to David. David, they do kind of hint that like the first year of marriage can be so difficult. And David says, well, ours wasn't difficult because we were fighting. It was difficult because we lost Garrison. Then we go to Meri in Utah and she like loves, her life. She's been there in Parowan single for over a year. She lets us know a year and a half and she's all about finding a man. Meri is on the hunt. So that's going to be Meri's storyline. And she damn well better be out there banging and slanging in Salt Lake. Can't we get her with, who's the Osmond guy that Brittany, from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is always trying to get to marry her and he like wants nothing to do with her. Can't the Osmond dude go out with Meri? We got to get Meri, we need Meri getting an STD. What are we going to do here to keep this like fire? But she's all about finding a man. We find out last night that she is going to a speed dating event. She's there with her girl, Jen, who we love. And that's going to be the storyline. Janelle has moved to North Carolina, which we already knew. She's loving it. She's taking a few classes local in town, trying to meet new people. And she does have a really funny line at the beginning of last night's show. And she basically says to Maddie and Caleb, Coyote Pass is a pain in my ass. And so she hints that Coyote Pass is a pain in my ass. That should be on a t-shirt for all of us. And she says that, she's also found out through the grapevine, Meri got a spiritual divorce. Meri's ass went to the AUB priest. I don't know who in the half. I can't even remember who he is. I think his daughter is a famous TikToker. What does she do? TikTok. I know y'all know this. She's really good. She and her husband recap the shows. Anyway, Meri went to him. She's like, I want a spiritual divorce. He goes, on what grounds? She goes, abandonment, sweetie. He goes, okay, done. And then I don't know what they do in the AUB. Like, do they, I'm trying to think of what they do in Catholicism. Y'all know I'm a Catholic, but I only practice the parts of it I enjoy. I don't know what they do. What do they give? Anyhow, I hope to never get divorced. But Meri get a spiritual divorce. Janelle's like, I'm reaching out to marry my girl. I'm getting a spiritual divorce. So again, a little bit of foreshadowing. It's going to get nasty between Janelle and Kody because he was ripped. That Meri was like, I want this annulled by the church. Janelle wants, Janelle has a great point. And then she also tells us last night, she's like, you know what? I want polygamy to be legal. Because if polygamy were legal for 1 second, ain't nobody doing it. There is no way that a man would marry 4 women if he knew he had to divide his income by 4. Mic drop. Mic drop. I mean, what man or woman? I mean, I don't want to give, do you think I want to give my shmano 50% if it doesn't work out? No. But vice versa, right? So you think a man is going to divide it into 4s? Hell no. She absolutely right. So anyway, she has a great point about that. She's completely over polygamy. And she talks about wanting to move. She moved to North Carolina because after Garrison's passing, there's no way she could stay in Flagstaff as much as she liked it. And she tells us from the start last night, which I thought was beautiful, is they are constantly talking about him as though he's here in the present. I love that. I don't know about you all. I pray to God it never finds you. I had never known anyone who committed suicide until this year. Sadly, I had a family member commit suicide. I never expected her, ever. Someone that you would never think. And it leaves such a hole in you because you're like, a car wreck, you're like, okay, God's destiny. How can you do anything about that? Suicide, it's like you run through all the scenarios in your head. What could I have done? The warning signs, were there red flags? So she says she's had to move to North Carolina kind of to escape really Flagstaff because that's where his condo was. That's where he lived. And the grandkids are getting her through because during the day when she's taking classes or they're working on Tata farms, she's good. But at night when she's alone with her thoughts, that's when it hits her. And don't get me started because I'll cry. 1, I'm pregnant, and 2, I'm emotional. So it was very sad. But I loved last night how much they talked about him, and they're going to continue. Then we get Maddie. Maddie last night stole the show. So emotional, so deep. Maddie really let us in. Maddie goes back to where we left the season finale at Garrison's funeral with all the kids getting together for the first time in like 2 or 3 years when they all were together. And Maddie says that she and Leon really had this heart to heart. Of course, Leon is Meri's child. And it all came to a head at Garrison's funeral is really what she tells us. And what she's referring to is talking about the divide with her dad and Robyn and Robyn's kids. And Maddie breaks the F down. And she's like, I just want Robyn's children to know if I ever did anything, I want to apologize to them. Like, I want to let them know that I never meant to hurt them if I did something. And she wants reconciliation with her father. Okay, so now maybe this is going to be, I just think maybe this is going to be a heavy, heavy season. Am I ready for another heavy season? I don't know, because Plathville has been so off the charts crazy, like batshit. Welcome to Plathville has been the most batshit, unpredictable. We were waiting for the broken nose scene, brother on brother fight. I mean, it's been so, first of all, relatable to my own family. I grew up kind of redneck in Maine. So I'm like, is Sister Wives going to bring it? Now, maybe the reconciliation part is. So Maddie lets it all out. She says that she's sad, she's angry, and she's trying to learn to no longer be disappointed by Kody. Then we pop over to Kody. Kody says that he wants healing with everyone, all of his kids, Meri, Janelle, Christine, but they're at an impasse because he believes that the kids, it's on their terms only. This is what he kind of always tells us. For a lot of you listening, I don't know, did you have a parent like this? I mean, I kind of feel like in this instance, maybe the kids are going to have to be the adults, even though it shouldn't be that way. If they want to reconcile with their father, I don't know. I know how a lot of you feel about Kody and Robyn, which is don't reconcile with them, be done. Peyton Brown, been on his TikTok recently, promoting his mother's book, saying he hasn't spoken to his father in a year. So again, season 20 has been filming all spring, all summer. They're trying to bring us up in real time. But Peyton, how much real healing has happened here? It doesn't sound like a lot. And Maddie gives him the benefit of the doubt. And she says, I'm trying to see him for him. And it's really, really hard. And she says, I'm trying to see him as maybe he's hurting too. So we'll see where that takes off. Kody and Robyn talk about monogamy and how they are abandoned. They were abandoned from plural marriage. So they're now in monogamy because they were abandoned by plural marriage, that everyone abandoned them. Oh, Lord. Lord fucketh victimeth. Are we gonna have another season of these two? I just want to know what the end game is with them. Because we dance around this, we might do plural marriage again. Can we really be monogamous with each other? But then we know from all the other women, basically a decade ago, they were like madly in love and still are, and like just own it. So what is happening? Like, are we playing this for the cameras at this point? I don't know. So we're kind of jetting back and forth. We're going to Maddie's place in North Carolina, back and forth to Kody and Robyn. So we come back, Maddie, Christine has decided to visit with David. Some other family, friends are there. Aspen's there. And Maddie and David race. All the women, they got their money on Maddie. She's running a marathon. But this is where, if you're a fan, we get some red flags. I hate a red flag. I hate a red flag for these ladies. So Maddie and David race because Maddie's running a marathon. David thinks he can do it. David wins. We were not expecting that. Okay. She like half his age, twice as strong. And then Janelle lets us know that David and Kody have a lot in common. Did you have to say that, Janelle? Really? Okay. I mean, some things, even though I know you're on a reality show, are better left unsaid. That might be one of them. But she says that David is confident and he shows off a bit, much like Kody, little bit of ego, competitive. Oh boy. And so she kind of lets us know. Meri shares that she got dumped over polygamy. Then we kind of, we're back and forth here, right? We're kind of talking. All of last night's episode was a reset. All right, it was a reset to say where are these individuals now and what is potentially going on in their lives. So if you need a refresh for Kody and Robyn, they're effing with us about if they're going to return to plural marriage. Janelle is still grieving, clearly, and launching Tay-Da Farms with her daughter and maybe looking at her daughter reconciling with her father. Christine, life is good. She's living in Utah. She's living the dream. However, we're settling in now and maybe things are not so easy living a monogamy lifestyle with David, okay? And then we have Meri, and we know Meri. Hopefully we're going to get into what's going on with her businesses, but Meri is on the hunt actively to find another soulmate, to find someone to spend her life with. Okay, there we are. There's our reset. So we pop back to Meri and Jen are getting Meri prepped for the speed dating event in Salt Lake. And Meri confesses, all of them actually confess, that basically they've all been dumped once they have dropped the whole, I was in a polygamous relationship. And I mean, can you blame a man? I mean, that is kind of a red flag. You know, you sit down with a chick, you're in your 50s, maybe you've been divorced, you're widowed, and now you got this woman. By the way, you know, don't be alarmed, but I got 18 kids. I got a reality show. And yeah, I lived a plural marriage here with three other chicks. And my husband was like banging us all. Yeah, I mean, a lot of men are going to be like, well, is the time we're about to go off on this 5 minutes? They said this was speed dating. It ain't speedy enough. I mean, so Meri confesses that there was a guy she kind of was into once he found out she was a polygamist and that she was on reality TV Toast. Now, the reality TV, I mean, they do have a lot stacked against them. Like the reality TV thing isn't easy. Christine says she too went into a date, unloaded very quickly, that she used to be in a plural marriage and it was over. So both of them realize, and because obviously it's worked out well for Christine, that they have been dumped, you know, ish has gone down from confessing that they were in plural marriage. Okay, before we hit the second half of the episode, which is really where Kody and Robyn debate if they're going to be monogamous or not, I do want to tell you about my podcast course, and a big shout out to Danielle Roth. Danielle Roth has purchased my podcast course. She is going to be on the podcast talking about Go Big podcasting very soon, because she's done a complete career change. She wants to be a podcast producer. After getting laid off from her job, she found my course. She is loving it, and she's really looking for a whole new life in the world of audio. If you have always wanted to launch a podcast, or if you currently have a podcast and it's not making the money that you want it to make, it's not growing, you open it up and you're like, damn, Sarah, I only have 100 downloads every episode. I can't get beyond 150. My courses are for you. Summer Fun 15, take advantage of those until October 1. It is 15% off through the rest of this month. Go to gobigpodcasting.com. My courses are affordable and accessible. So Podcasting 101, which literally shows you how to plug the microphone in, hit record, where to post your show, is less than $9 with the code. Oh my God, wait, did I say the code right? Hold on. I don't want to get it wrong for you. Hang on. Hang tight. Hang tight. Summer Fun 15, but it's actually, I think, like more than that. Hang on. Hang on. Big September. Sorry. Big September 15. Big September 15 for 15% off. Then I have Podcasting for Pros and Six Figure Master Plan, which shows you how to monetize, make money. It's such a great course if you already have a podcast and you're feeling stuck. So go bigpodcasting.com. Okay, so Meri's going, she's getting ready to go on speed dating. She's got to find somebody that loves her snort. She loves to snort. I make this mistake too. I like to snort. And, Kody loves her snort. He says, Kody's also, we're trying to have this is also going to be the season of the redemption arc for Kody and Robyn, or it's going to be an attempt, right? So Kody has nice things to say about her, and he wants her to find somebody that loves her snort, and he never had a problem with her snort. Janelle says there's no way in hell she's doing speed dating. Nope, she's not even going to be set up on a date. Okay, girl. It has to be all organic. We're going to be waiting a long time for that plot line. Let somebody hook you up. Sometimes your friends know better than you do. Meri says overall she wants a kind, confident, tall guy. Meri, don't rule out a short king, sweetie. And then we talk about Kody and Robyn. And we spend a lot of time in the second half of the episode spending time with them. And Kody goes into this whole thing about how hard monogamy is because he actually feels that Robyn holds him more accountable now, because it's just the two of them, than he was in plural marriage. Now, they don't elaborate into what this means. I think what it means is Robyn's always at him to try to reconcile with his kids. I have no idea what else. Is it money? Is it follow through? We don't really find out, right? But what we do see with follow through is we go to Tadoff Farms, and Maddie is showing Christine and David the layout of what Tadoff Farms is going to be. It's coming together, but they admit, Janelle and Maddie, that they are flying by the seat of their pants for this business. They're going to learn as they go, and learn as we grow. Okay. That's their business plan. All right, fair enough. We're all rooting for you. And by the way, you got this huge built-in audience. So when Teda is open, we're coming to buy these wild cut flowers. They also announced that one of the roads to the flower beds is going to be called Bob Boulevard. And we're also going to honor Bob's Florals, which was Garrison. You know, his first name was Robert. So Garrison, we're going to honor Robert, the floral shop, the whole thing, right? Beautiful. And so it all seems great. So we pop back to Meri. Meri and Jen are driving. They're talking about Meri on her way to speed dating. And, we kind of wrap up at Teda Farms, and Christine is like, I have 0.0 interest. This is like a little bit of the competitiveness between Christine and Janelle. Christine wants her home in Utah to be where all the kids come, where they gather, where the kids come, where the families are at, where new memories are made. And Janelle wants Teda to be that too. However, Janelle's way less competitive. She's like, I'm not competing over this. If the kids want to come, great. If they don't, we'll go to Janelle's. And Janelle does express that she has or Christine, I should say, expresses she has 0.0% in raw land. She's not interested in the raw land. She ain't interested. She don't want to grow no flower bed. She don't want to till no land. Okay. But this is Janelle's dream. She's always wanted to have this farm out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and raise a sheep. Okay, so it's happening. And again, we're bringing up every step of the way. Garrison is remembered. They're going to do a bonfire. They kind of want to create this beautiful photo. I mean, you can tell the grief is still so present. Why wouldn't it be? Of course, right? They will never stop grieving him. It's just unfortunately time heals all wounds. And then you go along in life with a loved one, and before you know it, you've lived longer without them than you did with them. It's heartbreaking. But we end last night's episode on something that, believe me, I don't know. You literally want to break your own heart actually watching this. Kody and Robyn go out on a date. They get a hell of a babysitter. Who's babysitting these kids? Okay, Ari and Saul. Those kids are being driven to school every day in the convertible Mercedes-Benz, all white. And who the hell is watching these children? Because they got one hell of a babysitter. Babysitter works all the fucking time because these two are at Fat Olives or wherever they were, Bricks, last night in Flagstaff. Again, on a date. That was weird, creepy, and about sex. Kody has gone from never wants to talk about sex to this man basically, I feel like at this point should launch an OnlyFans. Because all he talks about now is trying to bone. They go on this date. They start talking about licking. They're licking forks. They're cutting cheese. She's like, I love the way you lick that fork. That didn't sound right. I like the way you lick it. He's like, I like the way you lick it. You can keep licking it. You can lick. We get the idea, you guys. Okay, we know what's happened here. All right, we get it. So there's this real sexual innuendo. Okay, and Robyn confesses Kody likes to be showy now. He wants to make out with her in front of the kids. She's not into it because she's, really kind of more subtle. And then this is the part last night where I'm like, is this going to be a fake? Is this a fake storyline? And Christine brought this up. It went viral on my show. We get into this whole back and forth of, are they going to live monogamy or are they going to live plural marriage? And they start out the conversation completely yeah, we kind of want to live plural marriage. And Robyn confesses, I never would have married you ever if you weren't into plural. I love plural. It sounds like, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what these chicks are into, how they're into plural marriage. It just doesn't seem how are you going to get along with other women? You're going to share this man. It's so wild, right? Again, hence why they have a show. And Robyn reminds us that before she met Kody, she had so many offers from dudes, so many, but none of them were living the plural life. And she wanted that plural D. So she got it. And they essentially morph into maybe they're going to, they're not sure. Then they go, well, we only want to do it if it's a guarantee. She only wants to do it if it's a guarantee. And then Kody tells us he only wants to do it if the chick is hot. Basically, this dude really wants a threesome. Okay. That's really what it comes down to. The guy wants a threesome. Because he makes the proclamation last night that when a man is in plural marriage, it's like he has to do it too much. Okay. It's like he never gets a break. When he's in monogamy, he doesn't do it enough. Okay. So basically, let me get the line because it's so. Kody gets into the sex. He says polygamous is getting more than when a man is a polygamist, it's like getting more than he wants. And when he's a monogamous, it's like not getting enough. That's what he basically tells Robyn. Okay. So the only reason he wants another chick in plural marriage is if she's hot and if she's into Robyn. Like this is okay. Have these guys heard of OnlyFans? Don't they go to like Nevada all the time? I hope they're in some of the brothels down there. I mean, I think literally you can go to Nevada and order a chick that's into your wife and wants to bone you. I mean, it is so OnlyFans-esque and so shallow. And he basically admits it. Hot chicks only. And that's when Robyn calls him a pig. She's like, he's a pig. The ending is just so bizarre. He has these weird, almost like devil-like faces last night. And then they end up saying, then he goes, Robyn, I can't do it. I need you, girl. It's us against the world, babe. Babe, I need you. Or you got to tell me, babe, or is it us forever or what? And she's like, that sounds good. He's like, no, you can't see me like that. I need an answer. She's like, yes, I'm good. I'm good. Okay, so we think, all right, fair enough. We finally settled this for the umpteenth time. And what do? We go to a preview where Robyn again backtracks and she's not sure she can live monogamy. I'm telling you, they better produce a chick that they at least go out with and try to make out with. Like you better bring it now because you guys have teased us. This is like a D-tease at this point. You guys have cock teased us for 2 seasons that you might find another chick. You better go find her ass. This better be like Garrett Merrifield. Garrett Merrifield from Seeking Sister Wife. This man will go to Antarctica if he thinks there is a chick there that will let him hit it. Like this guy will get on a submarine. The whole works. Okay? They better be like this because I'm getting real tired of that line. All right. I'm coming back down to collecting myself. All right, let's do 3 quick pop culture things. Before I talk about Kody on Special Forces, Yogurt Shop Murders. Unbelievable story. Incredible HBO documentary that's out. It's literally called Yogurt Shop Murders on HBO. I actually couldn't watch the whole thing. It was so sad and depressing. But over the weekend, on Friday, police announced they do have a DNA hit. After 30-something years, 1991, those 4 girls were murdered in that yogurt shop. One was sexually assaulted, which is how they got the DNA. And Austin police said that the test led investigators to Robert Eugene Brashers, who was a serial killer, died by suicide in 1999 during a standoff with law enforcement. He has since then been linked to several killings and rapes in other states. The announcement came amid renewed attention on the case, of course, with the release of the Yogurt Shop Murders. This is huge. They even prosecuted 2 kids that they gave false confessions. It was unbelievable, this story. They have been looking for answers for years. They finally got it. Sad news. You guys sent this to me over the weekend, but a former TLC family, 3 family members were killed in a car accident. And I have an update for you. Meet the Putnams. Okay, now I never watched this show. It only lasted 1 season, actually fairly recently. It dropped in 2017, Meet the Putnams. What was the catch with this family? Well, it was 25 family members living under one household. Meet the Putnam stars gave an update on 2 of the family members that survived the deadly car accident that killed 3 relatives, including the patriarch of the family. Friday night, patriarch Bill Papa Putnam. Now, again, I don't recognize any of these people. His wife, Barb, who goes by Nene, and their daughter-in-law, Megan, died in a car crash near Detroit. Well, 5 other members of the Michigan-based family were hospitalized. The Putnams released a statement on Instagram Sunday with updates on Megan and Blake's son Noah and their niece Gia, along with pictures of each of them unconscious in the hospital. We wanted to share an update Noah is still sedated, but we are so grateful to see that he is responding to us with movement. Every small sign reminds us that God is at work. Gia underwent a craniotomy. Oh, for the love of God, last night, and we are thankful to report that her care team shared some encouraging news. Her brain pressure has gone down significantly. This is a powerful reminder that God's hands are guiding her every way. Through it all, we continue to hold tightly to our faith. Thank you for all the prayers, the thoughts. They showed like the actual pictures. It's very, very hard to look at. Anyhow, the accident occurred with a semi truck ran through a stop sign and collided with the Putnam's Jeep. For the love of God, at a rural intersection near Cass City, located north of Detroit, according to the sheriff's office there. Police said Bill and Megan and Barb were pronounced dead on the scene, while the other 5 family members were transported to hospitals. My God. I mean, may they be okay, and may they get their memory, everything back. I mean, for the love. Horrible, horrible if you followed them. Meet the Putnams ran on TLC for just one season, and then the family rebooted the series on YouTube if you were a fan. Growing Up Putnam. It really, 10 adults, 20 children, the Putnam clan all live together. As of 2025, my God, may they be okay. Oh, wild story. Lastly, I told you I would tell you about Special Forces, what I thought. First of all, God bless you guys. I don't know how you watch Special Forces. It's one of the worst pieces of, that show is, I can't even tell you, it's worse than any CBS like pumped in laugh factory. 2.5 Men. You remember how cheesy 2.5 Men that show was? I couldn't even watch it. It was so bad and stupid. Special Forces is so dumb. How do y'all watch it? I put that on my Instagram. Y'all came for me. You were like, I love Special Forces. Now, y'all, like, I thought you had better taste in television than that. And don't you come for me. I know what you're going to say. Girl, bitch, you make your money talking about the class. Ain't nothing worse than that show. I know. I'm just giving you my thoughts. You can yell right back. Special Forces is garbage. The narrator it sounds like he's in a tunnel. Stupid voice changer. First of all, them getting fake kidnapped by some terrorists like that they had. How lame. The stakes are so low on this fucking show. I mean, there's okay, Shark Tank, right? They make people's dreams come true. American Idol, people's dreams come true. They have a talent. What fucking talent? There's no talent here. These are actually people that are talentless, trying to remain relevant for 5 more minutes. The show is garbage. I don't think the Special Forces trainers are all that compelling. They're not that interesting. They're really not that hot to look at. Like if they were young and like jacked former NFL guys, I'd be like, okay. I feel bad for the US military. Did they license the rights to the show? I bet they're regretting it. It's so bad. But I'm going to tell you something that I have to take back. I think Kody Brown wins it all. I actually think Kody Brown wins the entire thing. He is meant for this show. You want to know why? Because when you're in like an AUB religious cult, you are used to the discipline. You're used to the insane discipline. Like, in Christine's book, like they had to wear all the garments, they soaked, they did all the Mormon stuff. Dude, if you have the ability to follow those rules, like you're going to be perfect in Special Forces. Your mind has already been trained. I feel like the instructors love him. He's honed in. He and Johnny Manziel are like besties, which is a riot to me. And Jesse Smollett being like, oh, I'm going to have a conversation with him because Cody's like, now who are you? And the guy goes, Jesse. And he goes, what's your last name? Smollett. And then Cody's like, oh yeah, Jesse Smollett. And then Juicy's like, oh, we're going to have a conversation. I can tell. When is Juicy voted off? When does Juicy quit? Like he's there to rehab his image. So far, I like him even less. Like I actually liked him better when he did the hoax. Like it's so bad. It's so bad. Brittany Cartwright, all of you all are in agreement with me. It's almost like a disappointment. Although at the same time, she got paid, I'm sure, like 150 grand. She did like I think she picked up a couple sandbags and she's like, I can't do it, y'all. I know I'm out of shape. I'm out of shape when I came here. Like I just closed a bar where all we did was serve beer cheese. She didn't make one effort. They go, okay, can you do a light jog? We're going to start light jogging because your team lost. She jogs from one desert abandoned building to the next. And she's like, I think I'm gonna have to leave, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I'm letting everybody down. And he's like, well, you're not gonna like give up now, right? I mean, you just got here. Like that would be the waste of a entire like, flight to Morocco. She's like, no, I'm gonna have to quit. Like she doesn't even, they don't even have to send it. She goes home within the first 2 minutes. Okay. But at the same time, I like Brittany. So I'm like, wow, girl. I mean, this show is so bad. Like if there were a show to quit and you were just like, I need to get home to cruise, that one would be the one that I'd be like, fine. Like Idol, I would try to stay till the end. You know what I mean? The Voice, I would try to make Gwen Stefani's team. She's still on that show. But Special Forces, I'm good. Okay. Love y'all. I got a jam-packed week of shows. Allie Luber from Vanderpump Rules is here. She confirmed that that she shot for Southern Charm. So what did she shoot? What's going down? Is she going to be a regular cast member and is she moving there? Plus, what's going on with her podcast? Then Mr. Wonderful joins the show on Thursday. Yes, he himself, Kevin O'Leary, is going to be here answering all of your finance questions and political questions and more. David Yontef joins the pod on Friday and Saturday. And Wednesday, we're all over the board here, is a Welcome to Platteville recap. Okay. Let me get my mic on right. Bye, everybody.